She liked to remind me that I was lucky. Not in a playful way, not teasing, but casually, like stating the weather. We had been together 11 years, married for 7, and somewhere along the way, the language shifted. It stopped being about US and started being about her value, her looks, her options, her leverage. I'm Callum. I'm 43. I work logistics for a mid-sized firm outside Manchester. Steady hours, decent money, nothing flashy. I never promised luxury, but I promised consistency, loyalty, presence. For a long time, that seemed enough. At the beginning, Isla wasn't like that. She was warm, curious, always asking questions, always touching my arm when she laughed. She made me feel chosen. We built a quiet life. Sunday groceries. Take-out Fridays. Long walks after dinner. No chaos, no drama. I thought that was what adults aimed for. Peace, stability. Somewhere around year 5, little comments started slipping in. Jokes at first. You know, I still get hit on. Or, my friends say, I could do much better if I wanted. I smiled. Through them, I trusted her. Trust makes you generous with your interpretations. Then the comments stopped sounding like jokes. They came during arguments, always when I asked for something simple. More time, more effort, less distance. She'd shrug and say, I don't know, Callum. There are plenty of guys who would jump at the chance to be with me. Not angry, matter of fact, like she was reading a menu. I told myself she was insecure, needed reassurance. I gave it freely. Compliments, support. I picked up more chores. I planned weekends. I tried to be better, without ever being told what better meant. What I didn't notice right away was how I was shrinking. I stopped bringing things up, stopped pushing back. When someone keeps reminding you that you're replaceable, you start acting like it's true. She spent more time on her phone. New passwords. New friends I never met. Nights out that ran late. If I asked, I got an eye roll in that same line. Relax. Guys line up for me. I chose you, didn't I? It was said like a favor she was. Still deciding whether to continue. The night everything clicked wasn't dramatic. No shouting. No slammed doors. We were sitting at the kitchen table, bills spread out between us. I mentioned we should talk about cutting back, saving for the future. She sighed, leaned back, and said, honestly, if this life stops serving me, I have options. Men who would happily provide more. I looked at her, really looked, and realized something cold and clean. She wasn't threatening me. She was informing me. In her mind, I was already competing. And I hadn't agreed to be in a competition. I asked her a simple question. Are you seeing someone else? She laughed, not kindly. That's not the point. The point is I could. That sentence did something to me. Not pain, not rage. Clarity. I suddenly saw the dynamic as it was. Love doesn't need leverage. Commitment doesn't require reminders of alternatives. I finished the conversation calmly. We went to bed. She fell asleep scrolling. I lay there awake, staring at the ceiling, understanding that I had been demoted without being informed. Over the next few weeks, I changed nothing on the surface. Same routines. Same politeness. Inside, though, something settled. I stopped trying. To earn my place, I stopped asking for reassurance. I stopped reacting to the comments. When she said men were lining up, I nodded. When she went out, I didn't ask questions. Detachment crept in quietly, like a tide going out before a storm. She noticed, of course. Confidence like hers feeds on reaction. Without it, she seemed restless. One evening, she came home later than usual, perfume unfamiliar, energy sharp. She dropped her bag and said, almost challenging, "You've been very quiet lately." I replied, "I've been listening." She smirked. "Good. You should know your position." That was the moment. No anger, no heartbreak, just certainty. I told her evenly, "If you believe other men are lining up for you, and you shouldn't feel held back by me." She frowned, confused. I continued, "I'm stepping aside. I won't compete for my own wife." She laughed at first, thought it was posturing, until she realized I was serious. I didn't accuse. I didn't beg. I didn't demand explanations. I simply removed myself from the dynamic. I moved into the spare room that night. A week later, I told her I was filing for separation. The shock on her face wasn't about losing me. It was about losing control. Suddenly, her options didn't feel so solid. Suddenly, she wanted to talk, to explain, to reassure me. I listened, politely, but the spell was broken. You can't unhear someone tell you you're replaceable. You can't unknow that they see you as temporary while enjoying permanent benefits. The funny thing is, once I stepped aside, the line she bragged about never materialized. Attention is loud. Commitment is quiet. I chose quiet. I chose dignity. I didn't leave because I hated her. I left because I finally respected myself. And that, I learned, is the one thing no competition can replace. After I left, the silence was different. Not heavy, not lonely, just honest. Friends asked if I regretted it, if walking away without proof or drama was too extreme. I told them peace doesn't need evidence. Respect doesn't come from being chosen under threat. In the weeks that followed, I felt something return that I hadn't noticed was gone. My voice, my posture, my sleep. I wasn't competing anymore. And without that constant comparison, life felt lighter. I learned that stepping aside became the first step toward self-respect.